Hello, join us in mastering CorelDraw Graphics Suite with our comprehensive course. This lesson is just one of the 80 in-depth tutorials designed to equip you with all the skills you need. Whether you are a beginner or seeking to enhance your proficiency, our course covers everything you need to know about CorelDraw and Corel Photo Paint. Subscribe to our channel to unlock more insightful lessons like this one, or take the next step by enrolling in the full course using the link below. Don't miss out on the opportunity to access all 80 lessons and elevate your design expertise with CorelDraw Graphics Suite. See you in the class. My name is Ejiofor Umano. I'm one of your instructors in this course. Welcome. In this lecture, we'll discuss CorelDraw environments. You start your CorelDraw. So this CorelDraw in my taskbar, I can as well start here. So you give it time to load. It opens in this environment, and this is called the welcome screen. You can always come to this screen by clicking here. So we want to start a new document. We can click File New, or just come straight here and say New Document. If we click the new document, the first thing you'll see here is our page setup. It wants us to name our page. If you don't name it here, you still have opportunity to save it, to name it at the point of saving. So let's call this practice A. So it has presets, and this is the presets. So if you alter this, it becomes custom. The number of pages, you can open many pages. You still have opportunity to add pages to your documents. The preview, will it be tall or landscape or portraits? Then the color, we have two popular color models, and RGB is the one that shows best on the screen. Then and at the point of printing, you can always convert from one color format to another, so you'll be able to view your job better when it is RGB, but when you're printing, you use CMYK. So you have paper sizes here. You choose the size you want. You have A3, we have A4, we have different sizes. So we'll use A4 size here. You decide the units you want to work with. We choose a pixel. Most designers will prefer pixel, but you're free to choose any one you like. It depends on the job you're doing. We have in meters, in inches, and some other feet and yards, and even kilometers if you're designing a road or something very big. So you choose the scale you want to use. The resolution, this is the maximum resolution, 300. This will give you the best view of what we are drawing. If you want a lesser view, it won't task your computer. But if you're using a small computer, you can decide to use less view. If you're designing for the web, you'll be targeting 72, but all this you can adjust when you're about to print or when you finish your work, so we won't worry much about it. So with all these settings, we say okay, CorelDraw will open a page for us. So this is the page we've just designed. This bar is called the document navigation bar. We can add more documents if we want. Any document you add will be treated like a separate file as a document. It's different from this page navigation. The page navigation down here can add pages inside one document. So we have page 1 and page 2. Okay, If you are not seeing your page, you come here and say to page. This is our page. We expected to work inside here. Areas outside here is called the desktop area. We can draw here, we can use here to do some work. Then we'll now bring it to the document area when we're about printing. So it's just like a desktop, the name is. So down here, the last line here is status bar. You can decide from this setting what you want the status bar to do. It has hints. Hints will tell you about any tool you click. This one will tell you about any object. It will give you details of any object. This tells you about the coordinates of your object, and this will tell you about the color you are using. If you are a starter, you will want to leave it in the tool hint. So anytime you click a tool, it will tell you about that tool. For example, when we click here now, it's telling us about the tool and how we can use it. A similar thing like this, but more detailed, is when you go to help and you click hints. Hints will open up a panel here. We call it dockers because these panels are dockable. You can drag them to anywhere you want. So any tool you choose now, it will give you a brief message information on how to use it, including video. So all these are to guide you. So if you are not using this tool, we'll close it here. So we look up here. This is the CorelDraw we are using. Note that CorelDraw 2021 is the standard. 2022 and 2023 has the same graphics information or design tools like 2021. So if you're using any of them, you can still work with us. We'll show you the difference later. But note that the difference does not affect any tool, designing tool. No, it's for all about connectivities and ease of sharing. So the CorelDraw still maintain menu structure. This is the menu. The file menu will tell you everything you can do about your file, like import, export, and save. Then the edit is normal edit, do and undo. Then we'll have the view. We'll have a lot on the view. We'll take all these tools one after the other during the course of the course. The layout tells you about the page layout. The name is supposed to be page layout. So it will tell you about your pages and background and other things. So this is objects. The things you draw, anything you draw or import into CorelDraw is called an object. The object menu has collection of objects, collection of tools you can use to manage the object. Here we'll have effects. The power of CorelDraw is in effects. You can add any, you have hundreds of effects you can add to your picture or your bitmap image or anything you draw. This is specifically for bitmap. Remember that in CorelDraw, two things make up your object: the one you can draw and the images you can import. So CorelDraw can manage the two. The one it cannot do, it takes you to the Corel photo paints. So we have text. This has collection of all the tools you need to manage text. This is about table, and these are special tools. So we have window here. The things you come to window to do is to use the dockers. Dockers are very strong tools. These are panels that give the tools that you use to manage any object inside your computer. This is our normal help. Then in these windows too, you can set what you want to be in the toolbar. So here is the interactive toolbar. So it's called interactive toolbar because any object you choose, it will bring out the tools you can use to manage it. It changes based on the object. We click this object now, we find out that it has changed. So anything you choose, these objects, the tools here will change. This is a very interesting tool. If CorelDraw has to display all the tools here, it will be scary because they will be in hundreds. But with this arrangement, it masks or hides the tools that you are not using immediately. The second bar here is called the standard toolbar. Virtually in anything you're doing in CorelDraw, this standard toolbar will be there. It has very few things like opening a new, saving a new document, opening an old document, creating a new document, saving, cloud activities, do and undo, just like other apps, popular apps. Then you can import images here. If I click import, it will take me to the last place I use, the last images I use. I can import any image here. I'll double click or click and say import. So this is example of an image within can import. Then the interactive tool has changed now, telling me what I can do with this, including mirror and other things. So here we have the ruler. This ruler tells you where you are in the image in your screen. You can see that it has aligned 0 to our starting point, which is top left of our document. That is where our ruler will start and ends here. So down here we'll have color palettes. From here you can choose the colors you want, and if you still want colors, you can use the color squash. So if I click here now in the fill, I will see the colors. I can select from. So this has to do, any object I draw has two properties: the fill and the outline. This is the fill. You can adjust the fill from here. Then it has pen outline. You can manipulate the pen outline from here. So down here by the right, the tools are arranged in such a way that they will be easy to locate. Here, if you see small arrow and click on it, you see more tools. Any of these tools that has small arrow means that there are some hidden tools. If I click this here, you will see the shape tools. You see the number of shape tools. So during the course of the lecture, we'll use every of these tools. So we have the crop tool, knife tool, so we have the zoom, we have the draw, we have a lot of things we can use to draw here, a lot of tools. So the same way we have all these tools. Look at this, we have shadow, we have contour, we have blend, we have. So don't worry about knowing what they do now, because eventually we are going to discuss each and every one of them. So the interesting thing I told you is the management of tools in Windows. When you're working, you must embrace the dockers. For example, this is the dockers, and I want the properties of this object. It won't only show me the properties. I have the tools to change the properties. I'm here now. If I want to change the fill, I go to fill. These are the fill colors. I change the color fill. I'm on the pen. If I want to change the color of the pen, I can change. If I want to change the size of the pen, from one point you can do anything. Then this has hundreds of collection effects I can add. This is transparency. So when I finish with the docker, I can close it. I can have as many dockers I want open here. Like here, if I pack it, if I click here, you find out that the properties has been packed here. Anytime I want it, I can click on it. If I'm using the property bar and I say want object bar, these are the things you want open, you want handy whenever you're working, I can call up another docker. So now we have two. If we click here, there are docs here. If I want objects Docker, I click. When I'm done, I close. If I want properties Docker, I click. If I know I won't need them in the future, I can close them here. So this is how CorelDraw arranges its environment. So in the next lecture, we'll start using the tools. We'll start with all the tools here. When we finish, we continue with the menu until we finish all the tools. The lecture will cover both the CorelDraw and Corel Photo Paint. They have similar environments, but they are designed for different purposes. So we'll understand all this in due course. See you in the next lecture.
Remember to enroll with the link below.